4 Kolberg Class Cruisers were built just before World War I broke out. At 430 feet long, with a top speed of 25.5 knots, the Kolbergs carried 12 4.1-inch guns, which were located around the perimeter of the ship's hull. The Kolbergs also carried 2 torpedo tubes, but these have been omitted from World Warships. Upon commissioning, Kolberg, along with their sisters Mainz and Köln, were assigned to the 2nd Scouting Group, which was the reconnaissance force of the High Seas Fleet. The 4th ship, Augsburg, would spend time as a training ship, but was sent to the Baltic during the outbreak of World War I. World War I didn't treat 2 of the Kolbergs well. Taken by surprise by the British 1st Battlecruiser Squadron, Mainz and Köln were sunk. Köln suffered devastating losses, with only 1 man surviving her sinking. Kolberg, on the other hand, had a fruitful career being used for multiple purposes. She laid a minefield off the British coast. At the Battle of Dogger Bank, she fired the first shots, which landed directly on HMS Aurora. Augsburg would also lay mines in Finland, which were attributed to the sinking of SMS Albatross. Both ships would survive the war. Kolberg was awarded to France as a war prize, and was renamed Kolmar. Augsburg went to Japan and was promptly scrapped. The Kolberg is a Tier 3 ship in World Warships and can be extremely fun to play, provided you receive a favorable matchup. Really, when you get down to brass tacks, the Kolberg is the German equivalent of the St. Louis. However, I give a slight edge to the Kolberg. You've got a lot of guns and it's very easy to get them firing in one continuous stream. While not blazingly fast, the ship is more than adequate for low-tier battles, and is nimble enough to evade most incoming fire, so long as that you actively work at evasive maneuvering and not just serving up your broadside with a straight course. The one major drawback about the Kolberg is its gun range, which can barely eke out 10 clicks. Complicating this matter is that while you have a lot of guns, they're more pea shooters than cannons. You can spend all day hammering away at a battleship doing negligible results with HE. That's if you don't score a fire, which happens a fair amount of the time, but for some reason it's not as easy on the Kolberg as you would think. AP doesn't work too badly if you're fighting against other enemy cruisers and even battleships in some circumstances, but don't expect miracles. This ship is more for harassing than dead-on assaulting. That being said, it's an excellent ship to use against destroyers that happen to wander too close to you. Its arc is fairly low, not quite a rainbow, but also not as flat as its bigger sisters like the Königsberg. You do have to get close to your enemy, so the best strategy is to shadow a battleship and wait until it engages. Then, sneak in and start raining destruction. You can take on battleships like Kawachi one-on-one, because the Kawachi's accuracy is pitiful at best. Kolberg's accuracy, on the other hand, for a Tier 3 ship is quite decent. Earlier I mentioned matchmaking. Sometimes matchmaking can be very good to the Kolberg, and she excels in matches that are all Tier 3 ships and below. However, sometimes you wind up with ships up to Tier 5. When this happens, you have to fight just a little harder for survival, and you have to be very deliberate in your playstyle. Overall, the Kolberg is a very fun ship, and a pleasure to play in the low tiers as you grind upwards. Enjoy it while it lasts though, because the Karlsruhe, the next ship up, is not nearly as fun or as deadly. Do you fancy German ships? How would you like to win one? I'm giving away the premium ship of one lucky winner's choice Christmas week. If you want to wait for the Tirpitz to become available, I'll even do a rain check for that one as well. All you have to do for a shot to win is be subbed. Pretty simple. Thanks for watching guys, and as always, Zoop out.